What's going on, peeps? I was watching his latest interview with Nardwuar and thought to myself, why isn't Tyler the Creator considered to be a mainstream rapper? This conversation can start with how you define a mainstream rapper, because he currently is a popular or known artist, but you don't hear him on the radio or having major chart-topping singles with stability. Despite all of this, he is selling out his shows, proving that he has a beyond massive audience of loyal fans. So why isn't he on the same mainstream level as someone like Jack Harlow or Gunna? Will he have to stop making mysterious music? Does he even want to have a radio hit? All this and more will be answered in this video. Will Tyler the Creator ever become a mainstream rapper? Or is he already mainstream? First of all, what does it even mean to be mainstream? The definition seems to be that you are considered to be normal and accepted by the general public. In terms of music, it seems to be directed towards songs in a commercial format that is accessible, inoffensive, and nice on the ears. You'll hear it in the barbershop, you'll hear it on the radio, you'll hear it in the streets. It's stuff people play and you actually hear. It's not that
mysterious stuff.
Thank you, DJ Khaled, for the inspiration there. But jokes aside, this is what mainstream rap seems to be. Tyler the Creator is a weird case. He should have access to all these outlets. The man has 27 million monthly listeners, 39 gold singles, 17 platinum singles, and 4 other multi-platinum singles. Yet, it doesn't seem to be enough. There's something about him that the mainstream hip-hop sphere refuses to acknowledge. Why? When he first started out, he most definitely wasn't trying to cater to any popular crowd. Just listen to his debut 2009 mixtape Bastard and debut album Goblin, which contained some questionable word choices and horrorcore topics that even led to him being banned from entering the United Kingdom in 2015. When he was calling out major pop stars at the time like Bruno Mars and B.O.B. on his breakout single Yonkers in 2011, it definitely didn't make him a lot of friends in the industry. However, there was still an audience for this material that allowed him to further grow his collective odd future. He was also being backed up by music nerds and other underground hip-hop fans, as well as being endorsed early by the Needle Drop. He evolved on his next album, Wolf, in 2013, which was a much more mature direction for Tyler. He wanted to distance himself from that shock factor-filled material he was starting out with. I mean, he can't keep talking about rape and cutting bodies up forever. It just doesn't interest me anymore. What interests me is making weird hippie music for people to get high to. With Wolf, I'll brag a little more, talk about money and buying shit, but not like any other rapper. I'll be a smartass about it. People who want the first album again, I can't do that. I was 18, broke as fuck. On my third album, I have money and I'm hanging out with my idols. I can't rap about the same shit. This was a respectful approach and showed some sort of artistic evolution, but the OG fans didn't like this. Tyler could have listened to those angry voices and went back to what he did before, but he refused to give in to their pressure. It's been clear since the start that Tyler doesn't care about what his fans want him to make. He only makes what he wants to make, which ends up going great for him in the long run. Wolf went platinum and received mass praise in retrospect. But then there was Cherry Bomb in 2015, which was such an unexpected switch up from Wolf, but it was the music Tyler had been wanting to make for a long time. It was music that nearly killed his career, with people calling it complete distorted garbage on release. It has since been revisited with a more mixed reception, but Tyler didn't care at all. For this album, he just wanted to make non-personal songs that piqued his own interests, in comparison to his fourth album, Flower Boy, where he wanted to write down every feeling he had. This 2017 release completely reinvented his entire image and received critical acclaim on release. It was also his most commercially successful release, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and contained his biggest song to date, See You Again with Kali Uchis. Continuing his 2-year album cycle tradition was Igor in 2019. This was his funky R&B inspired breakup album that became his first #1 album. It was described as the best breakup album of the decade, praised for the love triangle storyline and bizarre use of Tyler's vocals. It was another commercial success, with every song being certified gold or platinum, the biggest being Earthquake, featuring an uncredited Playboi Carti feature. 2 years later, he returned to hip-hop with Call Me If You Get Lost. This contained a plethora of mainstream features such as NBA Youngboy, Lil Wayne, Lil Uzi Vert, and more. It took on a more boom bap, jazz, and soul approach though, taking these rappers out of their comfort zone that leads to them delivering their best features according to many. The album debuted at #1 and later returned to the top spot a year later after his vinyl release. Based on the success of his albums, you'd assume he was having radio smash hit after radio smash hit. Yeah, he wasn't. He was not only going against what his fans wanted, but what the mainstream mainstream seemed to want. Despite scoring #1 albums with the help of his loyal fanbase, these albums didn't contain the radio records these stations seemed to desire. Take a look at his R&B hip-hop airplay charts history, and you'll notice that he has had a few singles receive radio ads, but they don't peak too high or last long, even on this platform. Dogtooth, Was Your Name, and Earthquake tapped out before they even reached the top 10. I'm honestly surprised Dogtooth is technically his biggest radio hit. If there is one rapper I would compare Tyler to that can kind of relate to being a bit of an outsider in hip-hop, it's NF. Both artists have a massive fan base, multiple platinum singles, sell out their shows, score #1 albums, but aren't exactly recognized by hip-hop. NF is a lot more pop-friendly than Tyler, but the comparison is still there. They both make art that they want to make, not what the industry wants. Or is there more to this? Because in 2018, Tyler stated that he wants to be on the radio. He desires to one day make a song that gets spinned on the radio 24/7. It might not be the most important thing on his plate, but there is still a part of him that wants to listen to the radio and hear his own song. I mean, he grew up listening to it. That's how he discovered his favorite artists as a kid, such as Nerd and Sade. He shaped his music taste from there. It's still a piece of me that not only wants to be on the radio, but is probably some 11-year-old kid in the middle of fucking nowhere who might hear a song, look me up, get introduced to a whole world, and that could change everything he's into for the rest of his life. He knows that he hasn't been super successful and technically doesn't need the radio play, as his albums have already been played millions of times on Spotify. He still believes that time will come. If it's not the next album, then it's the 3 after that. He believes that he doesn't have a voice for the radio. He has this bassy and low voice that isn't always easy to listen to for the audience he is targeting. I don't have a lot of time to dive into radio theory, so let's move on to songs from Tyler that I am shocked aren't getting played. Let's go through his discography. Right off the bat, let's not even bother with anything from Bastard, way too edgy. I'd almost say the same about Goblin, but there is the song She, featuring Frank Ocean on there, that most certainly has a radio-ready hook and sound overall. The lyrics are definitely gonna need some censoring though, if he even wanted a chance. Cut Tyler's bridge out completely. I usually just stalk you and masturbate? Not on my Christian radio station. Heck, now that I think about it, I get why this song wasn't played on the radio in 2011. It's about stalking a woman. Wolf has more potential though. The song Domo 23 could have went off on hip-hop stations in 2013. If You Know can make it, this could. Remove the intro from I Fucking Hate You, censor it to I Really Hate You, and it has potential. Do we even need to talk about Cherry Bomb? Fucking Young has the tune, but the lyrical content is way too problematic. I'm sure Josh Giddey and Dream would like it though. On to Flower Boy, where this time we have more than one option. Who That Boy and I Ain't Got Time should have smashed on the radio format. What happened there? Boredom would do well if it was shortened. I think November would work well as an R&B, as well as Glitter, which most likely would have been mistaken for a Miguel song. The biggest missed opportunity was See You Again, his most popular song. It was released as a single in late 2017, but only managed to peak at number 40 on Rap Airplay, so it underperformed during that time period. What if they actually tried to spin it nowadays? As you can tell, See You Again had a massive resurgence in 2023 due to a TikTok trend that allowed it to chart on not only the Billboard Hot 100 for the first time, but in several other countries internationally. It was a streaming giant this year, yet it didn't receive a radio reissue. The re-release strategy worked for Sure Thing by Miguel, originally released in 2011. Why didn't See You Again get one? I have no idea. It's literally a 6 times platinum single with over 1 billion streams. A lot of people know about it already. It is clearly mainstream sounding enough that if it was played on pop, it would fit in. Columbia missed out here. It could have had a lot more staying power on the charts if they just re-released it. This was Tyler's chance at having a radio smash 24/7, and his label fumbled it. Other than See You Again, there are a few decent choices on Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost. Igor would have appealed to pop and R&B more with Earthquake and Are We Still Friends? A Boy Is a Gun could have worked on hip-hop stations. Call Me If You Get Lost had Was Your Name, Juggernaut, and Lumberjack, all bangers that could have been perfect. But I guess Tyler is still too mysterious for the radio. So how could he get on the radio? This would obviously require him to dumb down his sound a lot more and listen to what audience he is targeting. He'd probably just need to hop on a disco song with Kali Uchis doing the hook, It needs to be a sticky hook with slick production and memorable verses from Tyler that fill up the time like Florida. Basically, he would need to sell out. I don't see Tyler doing that. Maybe he'll create a song that he doesn't like himself and it magically just becomes massive. We've seen artists hate their own biggest song in the past. I get the feeling Tyler will pull something off like that. He could also try to, push his songs like See You Again. It's a weird conversation, but that is just how the industry works, isn't it? After cycling through all these factors of Tyler possibly becoming a mainstream rap artist, such as songs from his discography that could work, his general interest in being played, why he isn't being played, and if he even needs to be played, I believe that Tyler has the chance to score an actual radio hit on his next album. He's clearly been leaning towards it. He has a fan base, he has the connections, people are rooting for him. It only makes sense that Tyler will get his first actual chart hit very soon. Many might consider him to be mainstream now, but I'm sure his next record will cement it. I heard he's doing a song with DJ Khaled in the near future, squashing that beef they had in 2019. Maybe that's the hit. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe for more based content. Do you think Tyler will get his big radio moment that he's always dreamed for? Or is he just gonna stay as the underground rap king? I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
Thank you.